Hello, everybody. Have you ever heard the quote, "Those who cannot remember the past are doomed to repeat it"? This is a quote by George Santayana, a Spanish American philosopher, and this quote has proven to be true time and time again. The topic we'll be discussing today is anti Semitism, and anti Semitism acts have reached their highest point in 80 years since the Holocaust. Hatred of any group, of any kind, is wrong no matter who they are, no matter what the situation. To avoid future large-scale conflicts from flaring up, we should speak out against anti-Jewish rhetoric and acts of violence, which is the reason why I chose to do my speech on this topic. The reason why I chose the credibility for me to do this topic is based on several months of research and paying attention of the issue since the situation has become more and more dire for the Jewish people over time. So we'll be discussing historical and modern examples of anti-Semitism, which is hostility toward or discrimination against Jews as a religious, ethnic, or racial group. First, we'll be looking at anti-Semitism historically in Russia and Eastern Europe. The first example I have is in Warsaw, Poland, 1881, on Christmas. There was a stampede in a church from when it was rumored that a Jewish pickpocket was in the church, and in an effort to escape, he yelled fire, and it caused a stampede, killing 30 people who were attending the church. The outrage sparked numerous outbreaks of violence, seeing many Jewish women raped. Over 1,000 Jewish businesses and homes were ransacked and burned, and 2 Jews had been killed, which is information published from jewishcurrents.org. Second is in Kishinev, Russia, 1903, where an anti-Semitic newspaper published an article saying that Jews were responsible for the deaths of 2 Russian children, and the violence that ensued caused innumerable rapes. Hundreds and hundreds of homes were destroyed, and almost 50 Jews were murdered. This is according to History.com. As a result of the violence in Russia and Eastern Europe, Jewish immigration began to swell between 1881 and 1910, where that period saw over 1.5 million Jews arrive at Ellis Island, New York, 70% of which came from Russia, and many of which were women who would work in the garment industry. This is information published from SaveEllisIsland.org. The first picture I have on the top right is of Ellis Island, and the second picture is of the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Then, of course, we all know about the rise of Nazi Germany, which we would be calling the Third Reich, which lasted between 1933 and 1945, which oversaw the implementation of the Nuremberg laws, where Jews were excluded in large part from German society, specifically from acquiring jobs in government and other public spaces like that. There was also Kristallnacht, which was translated Night of Broken Glass, where hundreds, even thousands of Jewish synagogues, homes, and businesses were burned and destroyed. This is according to myjewishlearning.com. And of course, we all know about the Holocaust, where over 6 million Jews were murdered, and 90% of the Polish population of Jews were murdered. And as a result of the whole population of Jews in the world, a third of the world's population of Jews died in the Holocaust. Recent examples of anti-Semitism report from the Anti-Defamation League, and it reports that almost a 900% increase in anti-Semitic events happened across the U.S. over the past decade. The Associated Press also published an article stating that almost 1,700 anti-Semitic events happened in France in 2023, while also a story from CBN News revealed that anti-Semitic behavior and rhetoric had been present at an Australian hospital, where an interaction between an Israeli citizen and 2 Australian nurses, Muslim nurses, saw the Muslim nurses making anti-Israel and anti-Jewish remarks towards the gentleman. Altogether, according to the ADL, almost 50% of the world's population have anti-Semitic attitudes. 40% of the people that are under 35 believe that the Jews are responsible for most of the wars occurring in the world, and only 16% of the population in the Middle East and North Africa believe that the Holocaust is historically accurate. So ways we can help to improve the situation is educate yourself on the topic of anti-Semitism, talk to people about it. Once you've been informed, attend rallies that support and bring community to the Jewish people. And also you can donate to organizations that support Jewish people, such as International Fellowship and Christians of Jews and Christians United for Israel. I'd like to leave you guys with a quote that I came up with that supports everything that I just said. And it goes, "Conversation is the best remedy for conflict." Thank you.